Hello and welcome back to Toy Thursday with Johnny Tiger on June 8, 2023. You are looking at a rather large chair. Well, to be more specific, it's a throne. Uh, and I know it's a kind of an odd thing to open the episode with, but it is actually the accessory that came with the figure we're going to be looking at today. In fact, this was the accessory that made me buy the figure. I really would not have picked the figure if not because of this throne. There have been a few action figures that came with a throne. There's a Shao Kahn action figure, Mortal Kombat Shao Kahn by Storm Collectibles. That one's super expensive though, way over $100 US. So if you're just getting that for the throne, then that's an expensive way to go about it. Now, there's also like a Spawn action figure by Todd McFarlane that came with a throne. That one's slightly cheaper, but still carry the deluxe uh, price tag. And also, it's like that throne is a little bit more specific. Uh, so might not be what you want if you just want a throne for your action figures to sit on. Uh, and then there's this one. This one throne and figure together was, I believe, only $20. Might be 24, but regardless, for something this size, look at the size of this throne. It is really light. This is like, if you look at the bottom, it's hollow inside, so this is very light plastic. But it is a pretty decent throne, although I was told that it's lacking a little bit in the paint department. So color-wise, it doesn't look very appealing, which I guess it is kind of an issue with a lot of the Marvel Legend by Hasbro and a lot of the Todd McFarlane creations these days. It seems like everybody's cutting corners, and one of the ways they choose to cut corner is to hold back on the paint. Now, I very rarely say that there's any kind of advantage being blind. Being blind sucks. I've talked about this before. You guys heard me talk about this before. But this is one of those rare times where I say, yeah, I mean, being blind in this case kind of is not so bad for me because if they paint the figure or not, it doesn't really matter to me because the figure feels the same, no matter if it's painted white or black or blue or one solid gray color. For me, uh, it feels the same, articulation the same, accessories the same. I'm not saying that I will go out of my way to buy unpainted figures because I want my displays to look good. But if once in a while I get something that not strictly speaking painted up to standard, it really doesn't bother me. Like getting this thrown this way or fully painted, it really doesn't matter to me whatsoever. And if saving me a couple of bucks by not having it painted, hey, even better. So I just ramble on and on about this room, but that's actually not what we're talking about today. Today, we're celebrating World Brain Tumor Day. Brain tumor is one scary thing, right? I think most of you might have thought about it in your lifetime. You might have even known people in your life, special people that have brain tumor. I have lost friends before to brain tumor. I have family members that passed away due to brain tumor. I have very special people. The most special person in my life right now, she had brain tumor before. My own older brother has a brain tumor growing in his head. So brain tumor is scary and it almost seems like it's everywhere. So when did this Brain Tumor Day started? It started way back in year 2000. And Brain Tumor Day, World Brain Tumor Day falls on June 8th every year since 2000. It was started by the German Brain Tumor Association uh, working together with World Brain Tumor Alliance and making this the day where we raise awareness about brain tumor and the impact it may have on people and their friends and families and loved ones. So, because of Brain Tumor Day, we're going to look at one comic book character that is so unlucky that he's had multiple stories, multiple incidences where he had brain tumor, but he just keep coming back, coming back, coming back. The brain tumors don't seem to put him down at all. Allow me to introduce you to Lex Luthor, the chief nemesis of Superman and one of the smartest people in the whole DC comic universe. Now, immediately, some of you who don't know this look, you'll immediately think that is not Lex Luthor, that is Darkseid. Or is that Darkseid? Doesn't look quite like Darkseid either, right? No, this is definitely Lex Luthor, but this is a very niched figure, portrayal version of Lex Luthor. This version of Lex Luthor, clad in a uh, apocalypse made blue power armor suit and having a face that looked like Darkseid, the ruler of Apocalypse. This actually came from one of the future story arc in the comic, in the new 52 comic. I know some of you are already saying that this is sound like I'm speaking gibberish and Martian if you're not really into comic books and stuff like that. But bear with me. So long story short, because Lex Luthor's story is so long, it's almost as long as complicated as Superman. So I don't really want to stand here and go through the entire history of Lex Luthor. That would be almost impossible, right? So I'm going to condense this. Long story short, Lex Luthor grew up having a dad who's a scientist being manipulated by a supervillain. Their goal was to use young Lex Luthor to establish connection with a Martian, a young John, a Martian manhunter. And they were going to research Martian physiology and get all the secret out of John, using Lex Luthor to build a friendship with him and trick him into letting them research on him. However, Lex Luthor quickly learned that that was the goal, but he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to trick his Martian friend into that, so he actually ended up uh, rescuing John and sending him back to Mars. After this, Lex's father got punished by the alien supervillain that was using him and basically wiped his memory and messed up his brain. So Lex's dad became an alcoholic, and that made Lex swear that he would grow up to be better and stronger than his dad. And he did. He grew up and became a genius, designer of weapons and technology, one of the richest, most powerful men in the world. Yeah, he's a little bit obnoxious sometimes, but you know, some everyone has to have some flaw. And in Lex's case, he's just kind of obnoxious and self-centered, egocentric, and a little bit evil. Um, but most of the time, Lex Luthor just want to be left alone to do business and make more money and do invent crazy stuff. Uh, but like I said, he is a little bit evil, so he quickly ran afoul of Superman, and it from there it's game on. The smartest man in the world, constantly trying to outdo the strongest man in the world, and most of the time Superman that's winning. But Lex Luthor really had gotten some good shots in as well. Um, and then we fast forward to uh, when the crime syndicate came to Earth and tried to take Earth over. Lex Luthor actually defended Earth. Like, he is not a good guy, but also he is a very smart guy. He understands if he let the bad guys win, then everything will fall to chaos. It's bad for business. So when push actually came down to shove, Lex Luthor was usually on the side of humanity. He's not one of those bad guys like, well, like Shredder in Ninja Turtle, who just want to kill everybody and stuff like that, and or Crane, who just want to rule the whole world, and stuff like that. Like in the case of Lex Luthor, he's one of those villains that actually quite sympathetic and believable. His motive is, hey, leave me alone. I am going to do my business dealings. I'm going to create my weapons and sell them. Stop trying to arrest me and stop meddling into my business. But when really bad things happen, like some evil god or evil aliens come to uh, attack Earth, Lex Luthor is usually right there in the front line defending humanity. So he's a villain that can definitely be a hero at times as well. Now, despite his being one of the world's smartest people and his billions and billions of dollars and amazing technology that he invented, Lex Luthor is still a normal human at core. So throughout his adventures and various story arcs, he has gotten things like cancer and tumors and things like that, like mortal stuff that you and I sometimes have to deal with, just to make him a little bit more human, more relatable. And in those stories, when he come down with brain tumor, you can really see a different side of this uh, crazy scientist dude who, usually you think of Lex Luthor, oh yeah, that angry bald dude who always mess around with Superman. But when he get things like cancer or brain tumor, he goes forward trying to battle those conditions. He's the ultimate survivor. He doesn't quit, right? So he is inspiring in a really strange way. He's one of those villains that uh, I personally find he's a little bit boring in the beginning, but when you really look into his motivations and what he does, he is quite likable as a villain. So, we go further forward into the future where Superman actually got killed and Earth lost its protector. In this case, Lex Luthor put on his own patented own invention, power armor that make him almost as strong as Superman, and he became Earth's new protector. And in one of the story arc, uh, one of the there was a one image, one section, where Lex Luthor had a vision or a dream of him becoming as evil as the god of apocalypse, Darkseid. And so this is the version we're looking at. This is actually like a dream sequence, Lex Luthor. This is not like the real Lex Luthor. This is what he saw in his dream that he became an evil ruler of the universe that was the head of Darkseid and the body of Lex Luthor clad in his blue power armor. This figure was released in 2019 by Todd McFarlane in the DC Multiverse line, and there were two versions of this guy. There's one is in the green power armor, and that one has a normal Lex Luthor face, Lex Luthor head. So that's a normal Lex Luthor. And then there's this one, the blue one, in the blue power armor, with slight difference in the chest plate and shoulder armor, and then with the head of Darkseid with a rocky, stony skin and alien-looking features. So this is a dream sequence. Lex Luthor. Why did I pick this one rather than the normal Lex Luthor? Because the normal one did not come with this throne. In his dream, he saw that he was sitting on a throne. So this version come with the throne that he saw in his dream. And honestly, it came down to basic math. If I'm going to spend $24, do I want to get just one action figure, or do I want to get one action figure with a throne? And both action figures are basically the same. So yeah, you want to get it with the throne, or don't you? Yeah, for me, the math was simple. If I'm going to spend $24, I'd much rather get one that come with a giant chair he can sit on. Now, while this action figure is not really all that interesting, I mean, the armor he's wearing is okay. I guess to me, the armor kind of just make him look like he's a Lex Luthor Power Ranger version or Iron Man version. So it's a power armor. It's a suit of robotic, futuristic looking robotic armor. If you've seen them before, you've seen them all pretty much. Like unless you go to Japanese designs, like in animes or manga, most of these power suits designed by uh, 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 artists here in North America, they don't look very interesting. It just, yeah, it's a guy in a kind of futuristic looking spacesuit. Um, so there's really not a heck of a lot I can talk about when it comes to this action figure, but um, true to uh, McFarlane's style, this guy has like 22 points of articulation, and he is articulated well enough, so he is able to sit down in his throne, and you can get him in various poses while he's sitting there. You can have him sit crookedly with a leg thrown over the arm of his chair. Yeah, if I have thrown like that, I might decide to sit like that too. I mean, yeah, there's no point to be all stiff and formal and proper, right? You're the ruler of the universe. You can sit however you like. You can have his hands by the side of his head, like he's just being driven insane by the all the responsibility. Oh, it's a lot of responsibility being the ruler of a planet or the galaxy or whatever Luthor is dreaming about. So yeah, you can get this guy into quite a few poses, and even standing up, he can get into some really cool fighting poses as well. Almost anything you want on this guy, like waist, head, shoulder, elbow, things that should work, they work. Uh, Now, I will say that one thing I really enjoy about this figure too is the joints are nice and tight. There's no looseness or floppiness. And then the shoulder armors are very soft. The shoulder pads are very soft. So when he raises his arm, they do not hinder the arm movement either. Yeah, you can have him even standing up on his throne, like someone just challenged him and he's getting ready to throw down some whoop ass, Lex Luthor power armor style. I mean, Lex Luthor is usually a scientist, he's not a fighter, but when he's in his power suit, like I said, these power suits are very well built and they make him almost as strong as Superman. And he got all kind of nasty tricks up his sleeve energy blast and missiles and blades and all kind of stuff. It's just too bad that there's no attachment that came with this power suit. Like seriously, I think McFarlane really stiffed us on this one. If you want to sell one Lex Luthor with the throne, then at least for the other one, you can throw in some effects to add to his power suit, like blast effects or blades or attachments or stuff like that. That would be cool. That would make me buy both of them. But now, uh, I mean, I may still go buy the normal one sometime if I see it on very deep discount. But the craving is not there. Like the motivation is not there. It's more like the kind of thing that if I see it on sale for $5, I'm like, oh no, that's cool. We get a normal Lex Luthor, but because I already have this more weird looking one with a big throne, it's very unlikely that I'll go out of my way to buy the other one. One thing that I do think is quite cool is the back of the power armor. If you look down the center of the back of this figure, you can see that the power armor has this really cool spine column uh, design straight down his spine. So I imagine this is like a back support, spine support. I mean, again, he's a normal guy. So if he got to go out there and trade punches with people like Superman and other super powerful beings, his armor needs to have all kind of structure support and muscle support to make sure he doesn't get his back broken. So I like that little bit of detail. That little spinal section down the center is the kind of design that even if you don't know exactly what it's for, it kind of make you really go wild with your imagination and just come up with your own explanation as to why an armor suit would have a spinal column down the back. Now, obviously, this guy is not like really, really big. Uh, he is pretty standard. I mean, if you think of McFarlane's 7-inch scale, you take a normal human-sized figure and stick it in a advanced suit of power armor. This is about that size. Like, I kind of feel that maybe the power armor should make him a little bit bulkier and bigger, but maybe it's this like really slim design. Maybe I mean we have seen Iron Man wear all kind of weird armor. Some Iron Man armor make him really big, but some of them just make him basically the same size as a regular human. So I think Lex Luthor's armor is basically maybe like that. So those of you who know more about the comic book can probably let me know. Is he supposed to be this size, or was he supposed to be a little bit bigger? Speaking of size, let's do some quick size comparison. First off, we have our 6-inch Captain America from Marvel Legends, one of our staple. Now, in this case, this is a bad comparison because Captain America, obviously, in this case, in 6-inch scale, and Lex Luthor is in 7-inch scale. So he's got a 4-inch scale-wise on Captain America. So you can see that he definitely dwarfs uh, your average Marvel Legends action figure. This was, let me quickly talk about that. This was and is, I think, one of the biggest gripe a lot of us had with Todd McFarlane's DC superhero figures. They're really well made, but it's just too bad that he decided to put them in a 7-inch scale rather than going with the 6 or 6.5-inch scale that would have worked with all the DC figures that came before when they were Mattel and uh, uh, and they would also work with Hasbro's Marvel superheroes. That would be super cool. But instead, uh, Todd McFarlane will be Todd McFarlane. He always want to be a little bit different. Other people want to do 6-inch, he want to do 7-inch. Other people want to do 5-inch, he want to do 3-inch. He just doesn't want to play nice with others. I don't know why. Anyway, let's move on and get some proper 7-inch figure for more fair comparison. Here is infected Superman with dream sequence Lex Luthor. This is kind of ironic. We have Lex and Superman, the two greatest rivals standing side by side, and it's Lex Luthor in a dream sequence. It's not a real Lex Luthor, and it's an infected Superman from alternate storyline, so it's not like the real Superman either. So this is just kind of interesting. But hey, it still gives you an idea of what this Lex Luthor look like next to a Superman. They look kind of similar in size. I'm a little bit surprised. I actually thought Superman would be a little bit bigger, but when you look at Lex Luthor's biography or stats on his website on the website about Lex Luthor, it actually states that Lex Luthor is like 6'2" and 210 pounds. So he's not a small dude. So so if we factor in again, he's in a suit of power armor that naturally would make him bigger. So I guess maybe this is correct. Maybe he's supposed to be about the same size as Superman. Uh, I mean the whole point of his power suit is so he can trade punches with Superman and they can fight as equals. So I can definitely see this two duking it out. And here we have Lex Luthor standing next to another Superman villain, Bizarro. Now, did Lex Luthor create Bizarro? For some reason, I think he did. I have this memory that Lex Luthor did create Bizarro where he tried to clone Superman, and it kind of backfired, and he came up with this like totally opposite, really weird, really dumb version of Superman. Is that the story? Maybe those of you who know the comic can comment in the comment section and let me know. Did Lex Luthor create Bizarro? In the end, even though Lex Luthor definitely a villain, and we shouldn't encourage villainous activities, but he is a normal dude who made built his own empire with his own two hands and his brain power. In many ways, he's similar to Batman, a normal guy trying to survive in a world of supervillains and superheroes, and he uh, able to match them blow by blow just based on using his own technology and his own smarts. And the guys even being able to push through and survive and come back stronger than before every time he suffers something so dramatic, such as a brain tumor. So I think it's one of those cases we can definitely find some inspiration in this character. I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Toy Thursday. We'll be back again tomorrow for some Fitness Friday. For now, have a good night.